What's going on, everybody? We're back with another class setup, and today we're going to be covering the Tundra. I've had a lot of people asking me about this gun recently, and I decided to throw together a few different builds for it. I only found one build that, I'll be honest, I actually did like. But with this build, the Tundra is an absolute beast. When I first started using the Tundra, I wasn't completely sold on it. I was never a fan of the HDR. The X50 was my go-to back in the day. The SPR is alright also. But being such a fan of the Kar 98 these days, being used to my run and gun, I just wasn't completely sold on it. However, after throwing together a few different builds, finding out the right barrel, thanks to Cold War and its hidden stats, also after finding a sight that reduces the ADS speed, which no one really knows about, the Tundra became that much better. Now, it's still no run and gun Kar 98. It is a much slower paced gun to use, but it is a lot of fun. It literally has no bullet drop up to 250 meters. That's about the furthest that I've been able to find that I could test it and show you guys in this video. Literally, it's almost hit scan. You really don't need to lead anybody either. This thing is absolutely broken. If you like your HDR, if you like the SPR, if you like the X50, I highly recommend trying this thing out. And honestly, if you're just a good sniper and you want to switch it up and you want to run something besides the Kar 98, definitely level this gun up and try this build. Before we get to the content, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash a like. We're really pushing for 5,000 subscribers. If you want to come back, if you want to know every time I'm posting a video, make sure you hit that sub button, you click the bell so you can turn notifications on. Alright, now the part that everyone's really here for, the gun build. On my Tundra, I run the Wrap Suppressor, the 29.1 Combat Recon Barrel, the 4x optic, the 7-round mag, and then the bipod. Now, I run the Wrap Suppressor, obviously, because it's just, you know, the hands down, the best attachment in the game for all Cold War guns, whether it's the Agency Suppressor, the Wrap Suppressor, the Groove Suppressor, whatever it is for your select gun. It goes ahead and gives sound suppression, damage range, and bullet velocity. You really can't beat it. The Combat Recon is actually the best barrel for this gun. As you guys have probably seen and noticed in, my previous videos, there's a lot of false stats going on out there with Cold War attachments. Most barrels don't do what they say they do, and each barrel for each gun does something different as well. The XM4 barrels do absolutely nothing. This barrel for the Tundra gives more bullet velocity than the Pellingtons, or the Pellingtons gives more bullet velocity than the Tundras. Tundra, though, does still end up with a higher bullet velocity than the Pellington once you combine the Combat Recon and the Agency Suppressor, or the Wrap Suppressor, sorry. Then I run the Royal in Cross 4x scope. Now, this scope is the scope that actually reduces the ADS speed of the Tundra, or all Cold War guns as far as I'm aware. JGod had a whole video covering it. I'll go ahead and link it in the video right now if you guys want to check it out to verify. More than happy for you guys to go check out that dude. He's done God's work for this game, to be honest, for all Cold War players and all Call of Duty players. I wanted to show you guys on TrueGameData.com, but apparently they haven't done the Cold War snipers yet. So I don't really have the charts and that kind of stuff to show you, but throw it on, try it out, throw on a different scope. I mean, literally just test it for yourself and you guys will 100% be able to feel it. My only hang up on the 4x is the fact that the reticles just aren't really the best. The first one is atrocious. These two are decent, but none of them are really as good as a normal sniper scope. Now, if you can get over that, it's hands down worth it. It's about 56 milliseconds faster ADS time when you're using the 4x versus the normal sniper scope. Plus, having the 4x instead of being completely zoomed in is kind of nice as well. But, that is one of those personal preference things. Maybe you do want a normal sniper scope. Maybe you want, a thermal or something else, you know what I mean? That really just depends, personal preference. But for me, I definitely hands down prefer having the ADS speed. It has been proven that the rear grips don't really do anything for Cold War snipers. So you can't really sacrifice the 4x, go with the standard scope, and then throw on, like the speed tape or something. The speed tape's literally irrelevant. I think it's like 4 milliseconds or something, which is, it's just nothing. It's not really worth running on any of your guns right now. That's one of the things I really hope in the future they go ahead and fix, but currently the rear grips just aren't really worth it. Now, as far as ammunition goes, I run the 7-round mag just because it doesn't have an ADS speed penalty on it, and I get the extra few bullets. The fast mag is nice, and I think the standard is either 4 or 5 bullets. and you reload, you know, more quickly, obviously. But I would personally rather just have the extra rounds. The reload time still really isn't that bad. That way I can fire a few more shots and be good to go. Once again, personal preference thing. If you don't mind the ADS speed, then yeah, I mean, sure, run the 7-round speed tape, you know, go to the 9, whatever you really want to do. But as far as overall optimal build, in my opinion, I definitely think that the 7-round mag or the fast mag are the only ways to go. This gun is a slower ADSing sniper, so you're only hurting yourself by running something like the 7-round speed tape or the 9. And to be honest, like 7 rounds is a lot in a sniper, especially one like this that doesn't really have any bullet drop. It's damn near hit scan with this bullet velocity. There's just really no need to run anything besides these two. And then, you know, Call of Duty, being Call of Duty in Cold War, the bipod actually does have the best recoil control for the gun. Now, it is a sniper, so maybe you don't feel like you want the recoil control. I think it's kind of nice because after you snipe, you can reset that much faster. You can get your next shot off. You can go ahead and maybe kill people back to back because you're not having to correct your aim quite as much. Now, if you don't want to deal with the bipod, I guess you could always go with the stock, maybe go with like the Raider for some sprint to fire speed and then the aim while moving speed, so that like if you're moving around the sniper trying to dodge people or something like that, you would be a little bit better off that way. I mean, obviously hip fire accuracy doesn't matter on a sniper rifle, so that penalty really isn't that big of a deal. Or I mean, you could go the combat stock. I don't know. I personally don't think the combat stock is ever really worth it because of the stats between the two. With the aim while moving speed that you get with the Raider stock or the Raider pad on the sniper, I just don't really think it's justifiably worth it to go ahead and run the combat. But that's, once again, that's a personal preference thing. If you don't want an underbarrel, you don't want to run the bipod, maybe you want a stock, I would go with one of those two. Obviously, unfortunately, Cold War guns, just there's not a lot as far as ADS speed attachments, so I can't throw a tac laser on it. If it was up to me and it was a Modern Warfare gun, I would 100% sacrifice the bipod for a tac laser for the additional ADS speed, just because I like to be a little bit more run and gun with my snipers. However, it's Cold War and they don't give us that. And the best thing you're going to get is, you know, some hip fire accuracy. And then once again, you're sacrificing ADS speed and to be able to hip fire with the sniper rifle. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So in my opinion, that is definitely what I would run. Now, as far as the barrels go, I will show you guys briefly exactly what I'm talking about with the different bullet velocities. So here we have the Tundra, the M82, and the Pellington. The base for the Tundra is 648. You're going to have 48% with the cavalry. You're going to have 53% with the combat recon. And then the Tiger team, which, you know, supposedly is the best as far as what they show you, really only gives you 39% extra bullet velocity. And then when you couple the combat recon with the wrapped suppressor, and it's 21%, you're getting 77% extra bullet velocity, putting it at a whopping 1,145. And that's what I mean, like this thing literally has no bullet drop. Your bullet is going so fast that it hits your target so quickly. There's not a lot of lead time. There's literally no bullet drop. It honestly makes this sniper so strong. You can crack plates from, you know, a few hundred meters away. It's obviously still a one-shot headshot. And if you're not really having to correct for bullet drop and lead time, it makes it that much easier to hit your shots. And you do have to still compensate for the ADS time. Obviously, if you run the Car 98, you're used to a much faster ADS speed. However, the Tundra, I definitely feel like, because of the bullet velocity and lack of bullet drop, makes up for the run and gun style of it and the nature of it. If you're running an HDR or an AX50, I really don't know why you're not running the Tundra at this point. It is a personal preference thing, and you know that you do you. But if you're gonna be running a sniper and you're gonna be slowing ADS, I really feel like you should be running the Tundra. Definitely try out this build. You won't be disappointed. And if you are, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. But then we have the M82. M82, once again, the combat recon obviously is still the best barrel. Not by much. It's only a 3% difference over here. Interesting thing about the M82, the wrap suppressor also only does 9% bullet velocity instead of the 21. So you're at 851. Granted, it is like a semi-auto sniper. So it's kind of a give and take on that one. And then the Pellington, it gives more. It gives 66%. You also get 26% off of the wrap suppressor. So you end up at 1064, not quite the speed of the Tundra, but still somewhat comparable. I mean, the Pellington's more like the Cold War's Car 98. I'm not as much of a fan of it. You can't get the ADS speed that you really can out of the Car 98, though it does have higher bullet velocity, maybe a little bit easier to hit your shots when you build it out correctly. You know, to each their own. However, we're not here to talk about the Pellington. We're not here to talk about the M82. This video is all about the Tundra. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about the lack of bullet drop and just how good the bullet velocity is on this Tundra. All right, and the last thing I wanted to show you guys was the bullet drop, or the lack of bullet drop, and just how crazy the bullet velocity really is on this gun. So right here, this is about 230 meters. It's pretty tough to find somewhere that I'm going to be able to leave an impression on. It's going to be safe and plunder for me to test it out and show you guys. But this is 230 meters with the Tundra, with the 4x scope and the combat recon barrel. Now we're just going to be shooting just above that thing on the wall, right where our ping is, and we won't be changing our ping. And when we go up there, we'll leave it the entire time so you guys can see. But just fire a few shots, that way you guys, you know what I mean? Like there's a few different reference points to go off of. All right, now that we're over here, you guys can see literally every single bullet lands right on top of each other, right where we were aiming at the bottom of the ping. Literally every single bullet hits right where it's supposed to be, just above this piece of metal that was leaning on the wall. That's at 230 meters. I'm talking literally no bullet drop. The bullet lead time, as far as trying to lead someone who's in the sky or something like that, is pretty much non-existent. It is honestly nuts just how hit scan this sniper really is. Now, just in case people did think that maybe me shooting down would affect the bullet drop or something like that, we'll do this one at about, what is that, 213 meters, just as a secondary test. We'll go ahead and show you guys. One other thing I did want to talk about briefly while I was doing this is what guns to run behind the sniper. I love my FFAR behind my Car 98 just because it is so strong. The FFAR is just such a good secondary gun right now. If you go up against it, you're pretty much going to lose. However, it does make you a lot slower as far as movement speed goes right here. So personally, behind the Tundra, I think that the Bullfrog is going to be your better option. I'll link both of my videos for my builds for not just my Bullfrog, but my FFAR. I've put up videos for both of those recently, if you guys want to check out that, so you know what to run behind your Tundra. But I definitely think that maybe the SMGs are the way to go behind the Tundra, maybe like an MP7, a Bullfrog, or a MAC-10, just so you have that little bit of extra mobility. But that is, once again, it's a personal preference thing. You could really run anything behind it. You can run an M4 iron sights, a Grau iron sights, an FFAR. It's kind of, you know, to each their own as far as what you really want to run. But I just kind of wanted to touch on that real fast because I know a lot of people are always wondering what I'm running behind my snipers and why. Now, as you guys can see, literally every bullet right on top of each other, right where the ping was, literally no bullet drop. I mean, like, I guess you could call that, I don't even know, like a centimeter or two, but that could also just be my miss aim of trying to shoot in the same place, that little bit of like the variable, you know? But yeah, guys, trust me, try this build out. Literally no bullet drop. The bullet velocity on it is absolutely nuts. If you like your HDR, if you like anything like that, go ahead and try it out. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop in that like. And if you want to be able to come back for the content, it'd be greatly appreciated if you went ahead and hit that sub button and click the bell to turn notifications on.